So all my fears regarding this sequel came true. Well, almost. Hi guys, this is Farhad and welcome back to my channel Popcorn Reviews. If you're new to this channel, then please smash that subscribe button now. And as a video ritual, remember to like and comment on the video. Liking and commenting helps fuel the YouTube algorithm. And today the film that we are going to be talking about is touted as one of the most awaited sequels. At least I was awaiting the sequel. It is the Telugu film hit The Third Case, which is the third installment of the hit verse or the hit franchise. It stars Nani. Now, the moment the end of the second film hit, the second case was out. The post-credit scene did introduce you to the character of Arjun Sarkar, which is played by Nani. And the moment Nani came on board as an actor, remember he was always the producer of this film, but when he came on board as an actor, the franchise automatically did take an upgradation. So one of the things that I was expecting is it is going to be bigger, but was it going to be better? And that is something that was slightly worrying for me. The answer here is not very straightforward. It is not that it's a yes or a no directly. It's a little nuanced. So stick around to the end of the video to find out my thoughts on this. And it's really interesting, So coming to the story and screenplay, the first thing that I noticed about the third film, Hit 3, was the characterization of Arjun Sarkar. Now, if you remember the characters of Vishwak Sen and Adivi Sesh, they were vulnerable individuals, they were almost on the tipping point, so much so that the case that they were handling was almost like a form of escapism. So there was a conflict within a conflict. Yes, there was an external conflict of the case and the suspects that were doing the rounds, but there was also an internal conflict that made the character a little interesting. When you look at the character of Arjun, Sarkar, which is played by Nani, the characterization is pretty vanilla for me. There was no internal conflict of the character. The entire shift, the paradigm shift of the franchise is away from the characterization, away from the filmmaking grammar which was relevant to the first two films, and making it a little more massy. Sometimes I think that is probably palatable to the core audience or the core Nani audience, which can be termed as fan service, you can say. So when you first introduced to the character of Arjun Sarkar, you see him almost committing a murder of a man who's tied upside down. He's also recording it, so he's a twisted character. The twistedness of the character is definitely evident, and soon you also get to know that he's a cop, and that is a bit of a interesting conflict that is there. But at the same time, there was no characteristic trait of the character itself to at least prove itself of there is a middling conflict of the character, if you know what I'm trying to say. The characterization was a little straightforward for me, which took a little bit of the sheen of the drama as far as I was concerned. Now, one thing is for sure, that when the drama kicks in, when the case starts to unfold, it actually makes for an engrossing kind of a watch. The watch is definitely engrossing, particularly with the first tryst that you get with the killings. It's almost like a cult, you can say, that multiple killings happening at the same spot with the same modus operandi. That again was an interesting plot point. However, because this is a pan-India film, the film has traveled in the drama. The drama has traveled in parts of Kashmir to parts of Bihar, later on even in Arunachal Pradesh, and naturally that adds to the style of the drama. But however said, the Kashmir portions that are there, it tried to tackle a sensitive topic, but it was largely broad stroked. It did not get integrated into the drama to an extent of being an integral part of the case in itself. It was a brush, you can say. It was just a broad stroke, a brush that completely just fell a little superficially fixed in the film. And I think that again can be termed as a demerit, although the proceedings were thrilling enough in the first hour. Now, the film, exceedingly, follows a general trope. It follows that of an officer who gets to some clues, then starts to work backwards and make him a part of some organization, who would actually help him to backtrace the culprits, so to say. I think these are very generic broad strokes that are there, as opposed to, you remember, if you watched the first two parts, the hit franchise, there were multiple suspects. You didn't know where the story was headed. It was twisted. It had an element of mystery. Here, the element of mystery is directly replaced by that of action. It's massy here. That, I mean, I would definitely call it a commendable change in a way, because you are at least trying to do something new in the hit verse, you can say. But I was also on the fence as far as this plot point is concerned, because the conflicts in itself did not really hold, the attention. They were generically pretty straightforward, if you have to ask me. So it did not really hold my attention. On the side track, also the love angle that is there between Nani and Srinidhi, Srinidhi Shetty, who's also earlier done the KGF franchise. That felt a little like a distraction here. It didn't add anything to the personal life of the protagonist Arjun Sarkar. The other flip side to the argument also is that the second hour, when the second hour comes in, it's again a mixed bag, but at least it delivers on the action that is there. It's like gets a little gory, it gets a little bloodier, you can say. Although the main drawback of the film has to be the antagonist, which I'll get to also in the performances part. But the design of the antagonist was so poor, so generic, that it did not really make me intimidated. It was almost like that Squid Game type of a design in the second half, which was good, but the antagonist in itself and the antagonist motive which was there, tagged motive, weren't strong enough for me. Now, as far as the action is concerned, definitely it is fun, enjoyable, but the standard of the action, is of Marco. It is of Kill, the Hindi film Kill, the Malayalam film Marco. These two are standouts in the action genre, and if that was like a 100, this was almost like a 60-65 for me. It kind of, I was almost unflinched, although it was enjoyable. The sequences by itself were well designed, but I expected them to go all in with it. Had to be more gory, more bloodier, because you were anyway getting an A certificate. This is an A certificate movie, so you had to go all in it, and I don't think they went all in it. There was a little reluctance to the action, although it was still gory, and faint-hearted will still find it a little difficult. But for action adrenaline fans, like me, I would have liked a little more, I would say. The ending again was a little generic, which summed up the screenplay, which was a mixed bag. It was decent. I wouldn't completely be dismissive of it and say it was bad. No, it wasn't bad. It was definitely watchable, entertaining in parts, but a lesser product than the earlier two hits that were there. Hit 1 was for me the highest, followed by hit 2, followed by hit 3. Now, coming to the technical aspects, the dialogues, the music and the direction, I felt the dialogues are also more massier, and at least they go well with the tone of the film. And I must give that to the writers here, that at least the adaptability of the technical aspects were pretty good. The music also is pretty good, I would say. The BGM also is good, but one complaint that I had with the BGM was that it was a notch lower than where the actual impact of the scenes, particularly the action set pieces, would have been. Like, it was a notch lower, I would say. It didn't really hit the sweet spot for me. It was good. I would definitely not say it was bad. It was good, but not the sweet spot. I would have taken it a little notch higher with the pitch, of the BGM, to truly, hit a 6 with the action sequences that are there. Action sequences per se, in the second hour, particularly in that one frames that were there, when there were single shots going on, were well choreographed and well shot as well. I think the cinematography, particularly in the second half, was good. The first half again remained a bit of a mixed bag as far as even the action is concerned, because the movement that was there, it almost, with every movement there was a jerk reaction, which really didn't allow me to sink my or you can just say emotionally connect me with the characters. The one shots weren't wide framed or taken from a distance. It was a movement cam, and when you have an actor with an agility of Nani, I think that was not a wise decision to go with a movement cam is essentially used with actors who are less agile, you would say. Some of the elder actors, when they indulge in action sequences, I think that is when that cam is actually useful, to create a stylized kind of a moment. But with Nani, and you saw the prowess of Nani in the second hour when the action began. He held the proceedings together. He could pull those off. So that then made for a slightly lesser impact. Yes, I would also touch upon the fact that the finale also had some secret performances, entries, you would say, which sets up also things for stage 4. All that was fine. But the technicality of the fact is that it could have been a little better. Even the editing pattern that was there, I think, was pretty good in the second hour. The technical prowess, all, if you see the pattern, it comes in the second hour, not so much in the first. The first half also is pretty okay with the technical aspect, but the second half is better. Director Sailesh Kolanu, I think he was the one also who directed the first two hit movies, and he's definitely improved as a director. I think his directorial skills have definitely improved. I think the decision also to have a shift from a more cerebral sort of an execution to a more massy execution was also pretty well designed from a design point of view. Execution point of view also, it was pretty good, I would say. I wouldn't say it was pretty bad, and it was something new for the franchise, although it just added itself in the generic trope. I think that was the only demerit of that, but largely the direction still remains decent here. It wasn't too bad. The direction, of course, I like the previous two instances more so, but this still, from the directorial point of view, it was still pretty solid. Coming to the performances, I think the performances are pretty good, barring one character. I think the one character that I was talking about, the antagonist, the actor who plays the antagonist, let's put that, because it's the first weekend, I'm not going to reveal the actor's name, but the antagonist character was actually pretty bad. I don't like to point out, single out a single person there, but the acting was too mediocre. I mean, he single-handedly got the film down to an extent also. It was hammy. He never felt intimidating at any given point of time, and I think that actor has also been given too many chances now, and to have him shoulder an antagonist role was a golden opportunity that just went missing. Other actors, some of the other actors like Saqib Ayub, Mahesh Balraj, some of the other actors like Adil also managed to do well. Komali Prasad has a good, screen presence. She does a good job as well. I think even Surya Srinivas, I think, does a good job. Who else? Srinidhi Shetty has a better role as compared to the KGF franchise, and she does excel in combat sequences also. She does a good job, but the whole and soul of the film has to be Nani. It is Nani's performance all the way that anchors the film. He's absolutely wonderful to witness with his screen presence, and also nails his performance. I think even when the writing doesn't support it, I think it is his performance that holds you together. And he, of course, is terrific, as I said, in the combat sequences also. Outstanding in the combat sequences, wonderful. And I think he did a pretty solid job here. So if I were to take Nani out of the equation, Hit would have been an even lesser product, but because Nani is in it, Hit 3 is a watchable product. It's satisfactorily watchable. Nani is in beast mode. You can see it in the thumbnail. Nani is in beast mode, especially when he dons that white suit and that gets bloodied. I think that costume department was also superb. So when that happens, you actually feel the emotions, but otherwise, it's a lesser product as compared to the other two Hit films that were the Hit 1 and Hit 2. This one is not too good, not too bad, somewhere in the middle. It's mid for me, decent enough, can be watched, good theatre experience, but still nothing out of the box, I would say. It's still mid for me. So that was the video, guys. If you watched Hit 3, then let me know your thoughts. What did you make of it? Did you like this Masi film, Masi Avatar in the hit franchise or not? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Did you like the earlier hits? Or did you prefer this one more? Any discussions, I'm up for it. If you're liking this video, remember to smash that like button, or alternately you can dislike also. Any engagement helps fuel the YouTube algorithm, helps a small creator like me. You can share this video with your friends and family, ask them to subscribe to the channel. Let's grow this Digi family together. My detailed review of Hit 3, Hit the Third Case, is available on my site, Popcorn Reviews with a double S, the link of which is in the description box below. You can read it in your language. If your language is Telugu, you can read it in Telugu, you can translate it in Telugu. There's an option on the site. You can also follow me on different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Letterboxd. I do not end up making a video on everything that I watch, but I do write a lot. All information is present on my site and on my social media handles. You can leave a follow there as well. I'll see you again soon with another video. I have already watched Retro, by the way, and that video is going to come out soon. Until next time, take care of yourselves, and thank you so much for your love and support. Cheers.